Okay, so today's presentation is going to be about how to write a personal essay. And this is one of my personal favorites because it really gives you the opportunity as a student to express yourself in the most free way possible without restrictions or judgment. And today's lesson is going to basically be an expression or an explanation of how you can achieve this optimally. So the objectives that should be achieved towards the end of the lesson are to identify the purpose of a personal essay, to recognize and construct components of the personal narrative, and to begin to construct your own personal essay. So the idea is, towards the end of the lesson, these are the three main objectives that should be achieved by students. I've decided to embed this YouTube video in my Google slide presentation because I feel like it can be of value of students who are a bit unfamiliar with the general scope of what a diary is and how to write a diary. This girl here is telling us basically the importance of writing a diary and how we can benefit from writing it personally. She also understands that diary can be a very personal endeavor and that sometimes we don't want necessarily everyone to know about what we do and how we do it. So the idea here is that she's giving us some top tips on how to approach diary writing in a fun and friendly way. This video is recommended that you look up in your spare time and perhaps write notes regarding what she is trying to explain to us. She explains to us interesting things such as the use of pen. As you can see here, don't use pencil because it can get erased and it's something that you want to basically be looking upon in a couple of years' time. And that's the whole point of essay writing or diary writing. It gives you the opportunity to recall what you were feeling at a specific moment. So give it a look, write some notes and enjoy it, I guess. So as for the second slide, we're going to try and understand what is the meaning of a personal experience. This is of vital importance because only when we understand fully what a personal experience is can we really begin writing from that perspective. So according to this definition, it's the human being of moments when experiencing sensory awareness of internal and external events or a sum of experiencing forming an empirical unity such as a period of life. The idea of its sensory is very important because the five senses is something that we'll be talking about later. In addition to this, the internal and external events is also of utmost importance. This is because of something that when we come to write a diary, we are focusing on the internal needs as well as the external needs. So internal battle can be between you and your thoughts, whereas an external battle is between you and your friend, let's say. So famous examples include the Diary of Anne Frank by Anne Frank, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, which is my personal favourite, and The Year of the Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. The Diary of Anne Frank is perhaps the most famous because it's the easiest to read. The content is not too difficult, and in addition to this, it's something that's taught at school level, so it's approachable. She talks to us briefly about her experiences in Nazi Germany and the discrimination that she faced as a Jewish German. So let's write our essay. So to begin with, the first step, which is the most important one, is to plan. Jot down your ideas, feelings, memories, or opinions as they come to your head. It's really important that you take the opportunity to reflect on your work and not necessarily write it directly. The narrative or the personal narrative essay is essentially a reflection in the form of an essay, and that's why this step is so important. The next step to follow is step 1, which is basically the introduction. Here at this point, we are focusing on the hook, setting the scene and the thesis statement. The hook is important because it catches the reader's attention, and you can be doing this through the motive or impressive vocab or facts, figures, statements. Setting the scene is important because it allows your individual to see where your narrative is based. And the thesis statement, which is the last important thing, may not necessarily be the same thing as used in, for example, a narrative, such an argumentative essay, but more you are telling basically what you decided to learn out of your experience. So, for example, your thesis statement may be, I will never hike again. Your body paragraph will basically be an explanation as to why you'll never hike again. Step 2, and the most important one, is developing your body, okay? Okay, so step 2, and the most important one, is developing your body paragraph. Show and don't tell is about being as descriptive as possible, supporting evidence, basically why you don't appreciate hiking, and make sure that you've stuck to a passage of time. What I mean specifically by this is using chronological order of time. Make sure that, for example, if your narrative is based within a week span, not to quickly flick from Monday to Thursday, but rather go from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And this is the main idea here at this point. Use transitions such as then, before, after, tomorrow, yesterday. This keeps the writer focused on your writing. Step 3, which is the conclusion and the most interesting part of your narrative. This is also referred to as the moral of the story. It is here where you begin to explain what you've learnt about yourself. How have you changed? What could you have done differently? This is what gives your personal writing so much interest, because in essence what you are doing is offering your reader the opportunity to see that how your experience has changed you as an individual, and that why, despite how one person, or let's say two people, can experience the same things, you don't necessarily learn the same thing from each of your experience. This is what we look for as readers. We want to know how the individual has benefited from. How does Frank and Frank differ from Viktor Frankl? Despite the fact that they both lived through an era of Nazi terrorism, they both have different experiences of it, and this is why we enjoy reading their narratives. So, now that we've learned basically how to write a successful essay, where else can you get support regarding your personal essays? We have a Facebook page that I would like to mention called Unofficial Creative Writing 101. Here you can find updates regarding how to improve your creative writing on a different level. We include, for example, quotes, dance about the surface of the world, let your thoughts lift you into creativity that is not hampered by opinion. This one is particularly important because it shows you that when you write on a personal level, nothing can be hampered because it's your personal experience. On our Facebook page we also include various films that we feel like would be an interest on those who want to improve their writing skills. A personal favourite of mine is Freedom Writers, which talks about a group of impoverished students rising through creativity. You can also keep up to date with us on Twitter through Creative Writing 101. Here we also give you opportunities to be updated on our recent events, and we provide you with uplifting quotes, photos and other interesting bits. In addition to this, we have an Instagram page. Our Instagram page we know that Instagram is something which is utilized very often now in the 21st century and is of utmost importance. How about, for example, in our Twitter page we talk about checking out our Facebook page, which is at Creative Writing 101, like I stated. But our Twitter page is also important because it gives you, advice. For example, why not check out the Stanford Continuing Studies Creative Writing course that's online and free. It's really important that you make sure that you are up to date with all of these, and this can be done through Facebook, Twitter or Instagram. One thing that I would also really like to mention is our Google Drive page. The idea that creative writing does and allows our students to have a different world. Here we introduce our page through a YouTube video which is very interesting, Creative Top Writing by Birmingham University. It's one of the most interesting videos regarding creative writing, and it gives you a perspective on some great tips to write. And it's on this page that you will basically get similar content for those who are really interested in investing more time in creative writing.
Being a writer means writing for a reader as much as for yourself. That's a crucial step because it does something to your writing, makes it more alert to the craft of language, and means there's something at stake. So, write for a reader. Your job
gives you
is
some
to
really
arouse
interesting
their
top tips there.
imagination. That leads me to my next point. The imagination loves particulars, avoids summary and generalization. Imaginative writing depends on evocative.
Fun way to really improve your writing skills. Why this page is of utmost importance, I really recommend that you follow it, is that we have some important information for you. So for example, I provide you here with a class calendar for this semester, which is really important because what this essentially does is allows you to keep updated with what is going on in the classroom. So here we can say that June 1st we have a creative writing quiz, and there's some important details. For example, we can have a video call regarding this if you want to do some pre-revision. Here we also have a creative writing quiz 2, and on Wednesday the 8th we also have a creative writing pre-assignment, which I recommend we all submit on time. Here we have a creative writing assignment 1 also. The due date is from 9 AM until 10 PM on Friday. It's important that this is followed. The quiz that you will be taking on June 1st, June 1st, which is the first creative writing, is something similar to this. Okay, so these are some kind of questions that you'll be answering, and it's essential that you place your answers here. So for example, what is the first step? Here you would write, the first step is to plan. Then you would carry on by saying the reason being is that it gives us the opportunity to express ourselves, opportunity to reflect. Stop. Once you have continued and done basically all the questions, this is when you go on and submit. Obviously I have not finished all the questions, but you should be able to finish all the questions and submit. Moreover, if you want to know your basically presentation and grade wise how you've done, this is where the presentation comes back into tact. Here you can basically go back, look at the presentation that I've given you. It is as easy as that. You can basically watch this YouTube video again if that's what you desire, basically the one I went through earlier. So it gives you a recap on what we did together. So it basically allows you to enhance your overall experience with creative writing and enjoy the presentation, and I hope that it enriches you. So, like I said, it's really easy. The grades, as I've said, will be presented through this Excel sheet, which is, for example, Michelle J got 80%, which is a pass. Congratulations, Jay. I would recommend that Joanna Santore does improve her grades. This is really the gist of creative writing and how you should monitor your creative writing through this page. So, like I said, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are all forms of creative media that we use, and they're all titled Creative Writing 101. Here, Creative Writing 101, and here, Creative Writing 101. Make sure that you follow all our social media to remain updated on your learning experience, and I hope this has been of use to you. And for any further questions, I suggest you look up the Google Drive website. Thank you so much and take care.